If Hollywood drama couldn't get any worse, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni just went all out in one of the biggest Hollywood legal battles in history.
They're both going at this full bore.
The latest on the legal bombshell.
Shocking behind-the-scenes drama.
Some people are in for the kill.
So you believe Blake Lively wrestled control of the film?
She tried to, yes. I hope that the truth comes out.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, as Blake's lost hundreds of thousands of followers on social media and is now being set side by side with Amber Heard.
Ms. Heard physically abused him. She's the abuser in this courtroom.
And a lot of people are making comparisons between this case and the infamous battle between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
This is shaping to be one of the most intense celebrity clashes in recent history, but before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's rewind the clock and start from the beginning.
It was actually interesting because our director also plays my other love interest, and so I think when we were in scenes together, he was like, whoa, you seem like you're in love with him.
I don't think people realize how involved she was in this movie. She's a producer on the film from the beginning to the end.
When you and Justin were taking on this project, because it's no easy feat to bring a beloved book to the big screen, what were some of the concerns or hesitations that you guys had?
I mean, honestly, I didn't have any hesitations. To me, it was
Process of adapting this film. I'm a man, especially when it relates to intimacy scenes and to scenes where there is a mix of intimacy and violence. Blake was very involved in that and had amazing ideas and was very hands-on with the choreography of it as well.
you should not be the intimacy coordinator. You should definitely hire intimacy coordinators, which we did have. Thank goodness.
You were teaching Justin how to pull you in.
Where have you seen
this?
It all started pretty normal, as you'd expect. Two celebs were getting ready for a movie collaboration that was a slam dunk in the works. A dream team, if you'd call it. But no sooner than later, the whole fiasco turned into a full-blown PR nightmare.
How many women has this worked on?
All of them.
And if you think the dust has settled, think again, because things are about to get messier as new accusations are dropping on the daily. The story's still simmering.
1 second, please. Hey, no, stop.
You want me to stop?
No. Hey, stop it. Stop it. Stop. Please, hey, stop.
So Blake Lively currently has the hots for Justin, just not in the way you'd expect. She claims that Justin has been cooking up a smear campaign behind her back. If that wasn't enough, she slammed him with a harassment claim on top of it.
I think it's critical to have an intimacy coordinator. I think that, like, you coordinate stunts, you coordinate dancing. It's choreography.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to say, you know, this was what happens here, and here in a stunt, and this is what happens here, and here in a dance. But like, now you guys just go be, you know, put your bodies together and your mouths and whatever, and just like action and cut. Like that's sort of ridiculous. So I think that being choreographed is critical for everyone's safety.
Well, Justin Baldoni didn't just sit back and take the heat. He unloaded a double-barrel, 168-page document that dusted her accusations to smithereens.
She was telling me what she thought would work and what she thought would be sexy. And from the very beginning, this had to have a female point of view. This had to have a female gaze.
Of course.
And I didn't ever want my biases as a man.
But Jake wasn't done just yet. He took things a step further by flipping the script on her. Jake went public with information that Blake Lively cranked up her toxicity and manipulative antics to 100.
I'm going to jump into this, and Blake, I'm going to start with you. Most of us in public, we only have a few moments to maybe speak with you guys, but for people who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people, and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone
asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share, I could just location share you, and then we could
That's strike two for Blake, but Justin wasn't done just yet. False harassment claims can easily uproot a rising star's reputation.
And I can tell you right now that it is exhausting, that this is wrong, this is toxic, and it has to end.
Justin threw the book at Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds for a $400 million lawsuit. And if you didn't know, the lawyers have a field day with those $900 per hour defamation lawsuit fees on top of God knows other additional fees.
We plan to release every single text messages between the two of them. We want the truth to be out there. We want the documents to be out there. We want people to make their determination based on receipt.
It's not practically money anymore. It's all out war.
We're going to move as quickly as we possibly can and prove our innocence in a world where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
Let's turn back time a bit further. Filming for It Ends With Us started in May 2023. August 2024 rolled around when the movie hit theaters. Despite the meager $25 million budget, the movie turned out to be a box office hit, grossing a staggering $350 million. It Ends With Us was a hit, but the road to the end wasn't as smooth as you'd expect, and all fingers point to Blake. Before the film hit theaters, Blake was the center of social media ridicule, and for all the right reasons. Now, bear with us.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
Leaked set photos of Blake's costumes as Lily made their way to social media, and fans weren't happy. Her outfits were a bit too glamorous, which is a stark contrast to Lily's character. I mean, the book revolves around themes of DV, domestic violence. One fan on Reddit had this to say, but this wasn't just about her personal resume. Those $25 million for the movie's budget, Blake quite literally commandeered the wardrobe budget and spent more than $500,000 on her wardrobe. Guess how much exactly? $615,000. Yikes. Which is why the costuming for the film, a mismatched fever dream, sparkles, and bohemian fantasy, isn't just a bad fit for the story, it's a jarring distraction. The wardrobe was just the tip of the iceberg. Blake jumped out of the pan and into the fire with her antics. While DV, domestic violence, was the core theme of the story, Blake's vibe didn't quite match the gravity of the subject. It was all sunshine and rainbows for her. When asked about how fans should approach her if they want to discuss the gritty themes of the movie, she kept cracking jokes. That didn't sit well with the masses. Fast forward to a day before the movie's release. Blake took to Instagram to make some lighthearted live stream chatter instead of connecting with fans of the novel. Blake was tone deaf at her finest. And fair enough, Blake got her share of backlash. And guess what Blake did? She disabled the comments on her Instagram video. Fans were boiling over Blake's online behavior. And on the other end of the spectrum, her co-star Justin tackled the subject in an empathetic manner. But just as fans started drawing comparisons between Blake and Justin, they started noticing a weird tension between the two co-stars. Sure, the two actors were an on-screen couple, but fans would barely see them together during press tours. They didn't follow each other on social media and avoided interacting in public events. These cues raised some serious questions. The fans were onto something. The rumor mill started spinning a behind-the-scenes feud. Before the actors could address the situation, TMZ dropped a nuke on August 14th, 2024. The public finally aired the co-stars' dirty laundry. TMZ reported an on-set incident where Justin had to lift Blake in the air. Justin asked the on-set trainer about Blake's weight. Reportedly, Blake felt fat-shamed, considering she'd just given birth to her youngest son, Olin, a few months earlier. The second incident dialed things up to 11. Justin lingered longer than necessary for a kissing scene, which made Blake uneasy. These revelations set off alarm bells across Hollywood. Justin had no choice but to hire a crisis management firm, the very same that represented Johnny Depp during his defamation trial. After the whole TMZ story fiasco, things died down. But things went up in flames in December 2024. On December 21st, Blake filed a legal complaint against Justin, CEO Jamie Heath, and several executives at his production company, Wayfarer Studios. Two major accusations were thrown into the forefront. The first consisted of harassment allegations Blake went through during the filming of the movie. Blake alleged Jamie showed a fully uncensored video of his wife giving birth, Justin busting into her makeup trailer uninvited while she was breastfeeding. Adding fuel to the fire, Blake alleged Justin improvised extra kisses and gestures in the absence of an intimacy coordinator. Justin's public image was about to go up in flames. So far, he's been an outspoken advocate of women's rights. Many of his female fans adored him for his sensitivity and empathetic outlook. But to hear that Justin harassed a co-star broke many hearts. Other fans were in disbelief. Maybe there was more to the story than met the eye. But either way, the damage had been done. Justin's agency dropped him like he never existed. Future projects were off the table. That Women's Solidarity Award he got earlier, that was revoked too. This was just part one of Blake's accusations. The second half, Blake alleged Justin orchestrated a full-on smear campaign against her. Blake claimed Justin's PR team flooded negative comments regarding her online as she brought forth her harassment claims. Justin was cornered at this point. The internet was painting him as a wolf in sheep's clothing, but he wasn't ready to back down just yet. On New Year's Eve, Justin chucked a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times. He claimed that the news outlet twisted facts and spread misinformation. Blake also stepped her game. That legal complaint she filed was now a full-blown lawsuit. It was pretty clear. No one was ready to back off. Things were going to court. But what no one expected was that Justin's $250 million lawsuit was just just icing on the cake. He dropped a $400 million defamation nuke against Blake and Ryan Reynolds, accusing them of trying to jeopardize his career. 5 days later, evidence started rolling out. Justin's team released a 10-minute unedited video from the movie's set. The footage showcased a slow dance scene, which Blake referenced in her lawsuit. From the looks of it, Blake and Justin were professional and comfortable with each other, acting out their parts just as they were scripted. Once the director called cut, Justin walked away, and just like that, Justin's side of the case started holding weight. So, how did Blake respond? Blake and Ryan Reynolds filed a gag order to prevent Justin's team from revealing more footage to the public. Unfortunately, the gag order went into effect on February 4th, but Justin was one step ahead this whole time. Before the gag order went full force, Justin put up a website titled Lawsuit Info on February 1st. The website not only revealed his amended complaint, but dropped a massive 168-page document outlining the entire timeline of events. Think screenshots, receipts, internal emails, the whole shebang. But less than a month later, on March 2nd, the website went dark. Users logged in to find a message, page not found. Rumors are brewing, the court ordered its removal. Maybe they reached a legal settlement behind the scenes. But another narrative says new evidence is out in the blue. The evidence was damning, to say the least, and contradicted Blake's side of the story. The tides turned in Justin's favor, and the public was on board. Even storyboard artist Talia Spencer spoke on behalf of Justin Baldoni on 60 Minutes Australia. This is what she had to say.
He was one of the few directors I've worked for that was very kind and respectful. In my opinion, I find it very hard to believe the allegations against him. No, not at all. I would say I felt more comfortable being around Justin than a lot of film directors in my experience.
For now, the defamation lawsuit is still going strong. The courts put new documents under wraps. Both sides have been gagged. But one thing's for sure, the public is in the dark, and public trust has crumbled on both ends. Justin's reputation as a women's rights activist and outgoing feminist has taken a toll. The film that started it all does indeed end with us. So, what do you guys think? Will Justin clear his name? Will Blake end up like Amber Heard? Let us know in the comments below.